Hello there, everybody. This is Dev here of the Rogue Deck Chronicle podcast, and this week I'm excited to show off Mega Camerupt EX. Yes, Maxie's favorite Mega has a decent, if not really good, fire type TCG card, and I'm really excited to go into what this is potentially able to do with the Mega Evolution TCG set. So, Mega Camerupt EX is a Stage 1 Mega Evolved Pokemon that's a fire type with 340 HP. That has 2 attacks. 1, Roasting Heat for a single fire energy. It does 80 damage, and if your opponent's Pokemon is burned, it does an additional 160. And then it has a second attack for fire, triple colors, Volcanic Meteor for 280, but you have to discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. Today, we're going to focus on that first attack, that Roasting Heat. And we'll go and kind of show off how we can get the burn and how we can manipulate our damage counters to really do a lot of really fun damage. So with the deck, we are running a 3-3 line of that Mega Camerupt. And then the partners we are going to be doing is the Volcarona from the black and white set that has the Torrid Scales ability. It says you must discard a basic fire energy from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burn. So that's how we're going to get our burn, is through this Torrid Scales. And then once we are having our opponents burned, we are going to have some Magmortars into play with the Magma Surge ability. Once during checkup, put 3 more damage counters for your opponent's burned Pokemon. This can stack, so if you have multiple Magmortar in play, you can put up to 8 damage counters in checkup from the burn mechanic before the burn flip. So we are running a 2-2 Volcarona, 2-2 Magmortar, along with the 3-3 Camerupt. So that is our Pokemon, that is it. So as you can kind of see, there is no other real support Pokemon. We're really trying to streamline the strategy, so no Pheasantipity, no Mew EX, no Squawkabilly. So we are really going to be leaning into our supporters and our items to help us get consistently set up. Now, in terms of the supporters, we are running 4 of the new Lillie's Determination. Shuffle your hand into your deck, draw 6. If you have exactly 6 prizes, that is now a draw 8. Strong card, one of the best draw supporters they have given us in a very long time. It's going to be a 3 or 4 of in every deck you see on this channel until it's not standard anymore. Along with that, we do run 2 Arven to get a tool and an item to help us set up that way. We are running 2 Hilda to allow us to get the evolution and that energy. As you see, energy is very important for us. 2 Research, just for a straight draw 7. Discard hand draw 7 is always fantastic. 2 Boss's Orders, which allows us to grab a Pokemon off that bench and just take a KO, because really it's all we ever want. And then 1 Wally's Compassion, another new supporter from the Mega Evolution set. Heal all damage from one of our Mega Evolution EX, and put all energy attached to that Pokemon into our hand. So really, we will be healing the Mega Camerupt. We have 1 energy we can put in our hand, reattach, and kind of move forward. So that is the supporter count. Let's go look into the items. So we are playing 4 Nest Ball to get our basics set up, 3 Ultra Ball to get our other cards, our other Pokemon. We are running a Precious Trolley as our A-Spec of choice. This is why we kind of run the Arven, so we can get a Precious Trolley as quick as we can. That way we can just get our entire board set up with all the basics. That way we can just focus on evolutions. And then we are running 1 Mega Signal to try to just get a Camerupt out of the deck for no real downside. Just grab a Camerupt. So we are running that for our Pokemon search. We are running 2 Earthen Vessel to get the energy. We are running 1 Counter Catcher. We are a Mega deck. We are expecting that a Mega Camerupt is going to get KO'd. So we will be behind in prize trades in a good portion of the matchup in the early to mid game. Counter Catcher is really great for us to just grab something off our opponent's bench and just KO. And then we are running 3 Pokégear. That way we can just get the supporter that we want if we don't have it in the hand already. In terms of stadiums, we are running 2 practice studios. We are an exclusively stage 1 attacking deck. Very different than a lot of decks in the meta ring. So we can just do 10 more damage, which actually does fix some math, the higher HP stage 2s and some of the stage 1 megas that we will be seeing in order to just get that KO. So it actually does fix that 10 damage, does fix some math when we have the burn counters manipulated. We are going to run 2 air balloons. Magmortar is 2 retreat cost. Volcarona is 1 retreat cost. So we do definitely, if they do get put up into the active and kind of try to get stranded, we do have the air balloons to get them out. And then we're running a Rigid Band. Like we said, we are a stage 1 deck. So if we can put the Rigid Band onto our Camerupt, we can take 30 less damage, be a little more bulky. That 340 turns into effective 370, and we can just try to do one more attack with it, and that will just give us one more turn. So there's that. And then we're running 10 fire energy. Again, Camerupt only needs 1 energy to attack. Volcarona only really needs 1 energy to do the discarding. So we really don't need a lot in order to do what we need to do. And then we run 2 Night Stretcher just for recovery. So the recovery with the energy, recovery with the Pokemon. So there's the list. As always, this list will be in the description of the video. So let's go jump onto the ladder to see how we do. Okay, time for us to jump into a match. We are going second, leading with Numel, which is actually a really good lead with Call the Family. We're going to see what our opponent flips over. Mega Absol. Oh, I love Mega Absol. I love the idea of the card. The placing a damage counter seems a little dangerous. Can definitely be played around a little bit. But it's something I'm honestly trying to play around with on my end. I would love to see how other people are doing it. I think all the Megas have potential of just being able to showcase their strengths. So let's see. Some Mimikyu wall. Okay. The Safeguard Mimikyu. I've been seeing more and more of it lately on the ladder. I think it just gets better with some damage counter decks and different things like that. So attach to darkness. Okay. Are we going to see anything else from our opponent this turn, or? Because for us, I would love the energy. Okay. Pass. So let's see what we get on here. Lillie Termination. Actually, I would prefer a Lillie's here compared to having anything else kind of get discarded. There's too many good resources for like mid to late game for us. So, alright. So, we are going to call the family. I want to put a Larvesta and a Magmar into play. Start kind of getting this combo set up and running. That Lillie to 8 really just doesn't give us a lot. I think I'm just getting unlucky. I think what some people call it the Pokemon TCG Live RNG. Just knows how to give you bad hands. It's what I've been feeling on the ladder lately with that Lillie's, but it's such a good card. Shuffle your hand, draw 6, draw 8. It's too good. Like, I'm just getting, I'll just call it the luck. That's perfectly fine. So, we are going to be subject to... Okay, we're going to be subjected to what our top deck's going to be, because we really can't do much as of this moment. Our opponent is doing the Heart Attach. Obviously, the Terminal Period is the probably the attack they would like to do, but they're probably not afraid of their second attack for 200, so we definitely have to kind of get ready now. Research. Not necessarily the play I want to do. To be 100% honest, it's really not. Getting rid of 4 energy does not feel great at all out of our 10. But we'll be able to recover some of it back. We definitely need to accelerate a little bit. Man. I don't feel the greatest, but we'll keep the Night Stretcher in hand. And we're just gonna end turn because we'll call the family just to shuffle the deck just one more time. I don't want to put another Larvesta down. There's no real need. So if we were able to attack, we would have been able to knock out the Mega Absol. So one of our Magmars are prized. That's a problem for this Mimikyu. Missing the attack turned on the Pheasantipity. Because if we attack and knock out from the damage from the attack, Pheasantipity procs. I mean, I don't think our opponent wants to use Claw of Darkness on a Numel for one prize. But it looks like they're going to. Energy, but we have the Night Stretcher. I don't think our opponent realized how strong the Night Stretcher could be. Because he's just gaining burn damage every turn here. So if we're able to evolve, then we'll be fine. But we have a lot of resources in the discard right now. Which is a little bit concerning. Like 6 of our 10 energies are already priced, already in the discard. But we don't have to really force the issue right now. So we're just gonna Burning Heat. We'll take the 3 prizes. We really don't see anything else set up on our opponent's board for right now. And hopefully one of these 3 is the Magmar. Perfect. So we can get the Magmar up and running now. So we'll put the Magmar down, try to get the double burn bonus. So this Mimikyu, if he keeps this Mimikyu more than one turn, then it'll be fine. I'm just genuinely curious on what we can do, what they're willing to do. The biggest thing with burn, unlike poison, is that they do a coin flip in between every turn. So they have 2 opportunities to cure the burn, which is 2 turns of energies that we have to discard. Which is why like the Magmortar play is the best play for us, because if we can get to 8 just by 1 burn, then we don't have to worry about those coin flips. So what I want to do is I want to put the Rigid Band on, protect any physical damage that we're going to get that isn't placing a damage counters. I want to put the Magmar in play this turn. I don't know if I want to try to do any of the burning shenanigans until I have a second Magmortar ready to go. I definitely want to try to preserve our resources as much as possible here. So we're seeing the Mega Absol and 2 energy come back. We haven't seen Practice Studio to counter the Stadium. That's a little bit of a concern. Well, we can put the Magmar down Lillie. Yep. Actually, no, I want to Arven. I think Arven's a better play here. Because we'll just grab an Ultra Ball. We'll play the Nest Ball to thin out the hand just a little bit. I want to double check. Yep, that Magmortar is in the deck. Our Practice Studios are in the deck too. We have 3 energy in the deck. So we're just going to whiff that, and then we're just going to pass turn for now, because we can't do damage. And we could Ultra Ball whatever we top deck in a Rigid Band away to grab the Magmortar, and then Lillie for energy. So they're going to get another Mega Absol out. But we don't have 6 damage counters in play on a singular Pokemon. They haven't really been showing us ways that they're manipulating their damage. So I'm not as worried about the Absol. What we probably should try to do now that we got the Magmortar kind of set up let's go to our play. I don't think the boss is really going to make or break this. I think getting past this Mimikyu wall is the important piece for us, which is what our burn will do for us. Which we didn't get this. Oh no, we have the Night Stretcher. Let's use the Night Stretcher to get the burn out of the way. We weren't using any of the energy from the deck, which is actually not a bad thing. And we're just going to end turn, knock out the Mimikyu from the burn, not proccing the Pheasantipity. We'll get a prize, which is the trolley, which is a little too late, but we could potentially use a trolley if we wanted to get another Numel in the play. They still have to knock out potentially 2 Megas, so it's still not a bad situation for us. But we can one-shot either one of the Pokemon he has in play unless we see another Mimikyu, another single prizer, and there's our opponent conceding. I think they saw the routes that we had for the match there, where we were able to just kind of bypass that safeguard, get the big multi-prize KOs in one turn. So that is Camerupt. That is the great power of just the conditions of burn versus raw damage and being able to combine those in different scenarios. Okay, time for us to jump into a match here. We're going to lead with the Magmar and put 1 Larvesta in. On the bench, we are going second. We have Arven Pokégear, so we'll be able to set up hopefully a little bit. See what our opponent is going to do. Because we can Arven. Looks like we're going to be running into a Alakazam list, which would be kind of cool. Or this could be that new Walls list. I've seen a list with Abra and a whole bunch of random kind of one prize, stally, tanky. So we'll see what this Abra does and what they do with the Abra. But they are leading with the Mimikyu, so we won't be able to hit it with the Camerupt, but we can still burn it. Spore Bunny to Dunsparce. Interesting little list here. So we'll see what we go. I think this might be Alakazam. I think it might be Alakazam. We're setting it up as an attacker. So another Pokégear, but I think Arven is perfectly fine for this turn. Because it allows us to grab the trolley and then an Air Balloon. Because then we can just get all the pieces onto the board here. And then we'll just give them a camel. And then I'm going to do one of the 3 Pokégears. Grab a Lillie's from that way we just have it in hand. And then end turn. So no energy, obviously we can't evolve turn 1. But we have a camel, multiple camels ready to go. We have the Magmars and Larvesta, so next turn we can Lillie for a whole bunch. We can start really powering up what we need to power up. Because with this Mimikyu in the active, we have to kind of go with burn. Drayton, haven't seen that. Okay. Cherry picking some cards from their list. So what we can do, if we get, even if we don't get the Camerupt ready, we could do Volcarona double Magmar or Magmortar and get 8 damage counters and burn onto the Mimikyu. Get a KO that way, bypassing the safeguard ability. Which is why grabbing the Lilies was so important that turn. So we also want, we're not going to be able to manipulate our opponent's hands. We do not go with much disruption in our build. So we'll see how this goes here. But if he's only building up 1 Alakazam, I'm not as concerned. We just have to make sure the hand size doesn't get out of control. We just have to put a lot of really early game pressure onto this Mimikyu, onto our opponent. So we'll see. Alright, so they're going to attach pass, so we really do need to put pressure on now. There's a research. The research really doesn't help much. So we're just going to Lillie for 8 fresh cards and see what we get off it. Which is a bunch of nothing, believe it or not. A bunch of nothing. Oof. Grab another Lillie for next turn. Put the 3rd Numel in play just to be on the safer side. And we're just going to end turn this turn. So we kind of whiffed on all our evolutions. We have pieces in our hand, don't get me wrong. We just kind of whiffed on the evolutions. Any evolution. So my concern is both of these. So putting 7 damage counters could KO a Larvesta, but that's the reason why we didn't put both Larvesta into play. We could always grab it with the Nest Ball. Just puts us behind, because we won't be able to burn right away if he does put damage onto the Larvesta. But he's switching out, which means he's going to be attacking with the Cinderace instead. Alrighty, so what are we going to see? Because really our play for next turn is attached to the Numel, Lillie for 8, and kind of see what we get depending on what we draw. Because we're really not in a position where we kind of get what we want. There's the Latias. Oh, okay, so this is the Latias EX deck. Okay. Okay, so it's going to Cinderace onto the Latias. Okay. Yep. And this deck is actually a deck that Dean's been playing around with, this Mega Latias deck. He's actually saying he's having a lot of fun with it. So I'm curious. So our play, okay, so he's spreading the damage around. I can see what he's trying to do here. Makes sense. Our play definitely is setting up hard right now. So what we're going to do now is we are going to try to get 8 cards again. Try to get any form of evolution, which we don't. So what we can do at least is get a camel. try to get this Numel to be a little more beefy. We will discard the Nest Ball. Try to thin some cards out of the deck. So I'm really not a fan of researching some of our hand right now. And at least we can Roasting Heat for 80, I guess, to kind of just put damage on the board. And then kind of go from there. Because now the Cinderace is within KO range. If he does bring up the Mimikyu, the wall, and try to knock us out with the Mimikyu, like try to knock out the Larvesta, then nope, he's just gonna punch us again. Okay. He's trying to soften up the Camerupt. We do run a Wally's Compassion for this type of stuff as well, because that Latias can knock out the Camerupt. But we can knock him out in return. So if we can just kind of get there's the Compassion too. I could have Compassioned and then attached, but I don't know if that's a play for this turn. I think we hold it. And I'm gonna play a dangerous game here, where we kind of try to go aggressive. If he does, okay, he's just giving us the Mimikyu for now. Because next turn we can just Compassion and just put his kind of strategy back if he doesn't target the Larvesta. Because I think our opponent very well is aware that we have been whiffing kind of our setup, and they're not really haven't really disrupted us much. But just the constant pressure of 80-80 for 1 energy is enough to kind of put us into a little bit of lead. I wouldn't say by much. Oh, 5 cards to discard. Oath. That's fine. Not really a fan of that, but that's fine. I'd rather try to keep the Wally's Compassion, just in case he doesn't try to go for the knockout on the Camerupt this turn. Oh, he's either going to Mind Jack or he's going to attack from the bench. He's going to attack from the bench, actually. So who's he going to attack? Or if he attacks from the bench, he has to hit into the Camerupt. That's the beauty of kind of play we have here. If he uses the Mimikyu to attack, he's putting 7 damage counters onto the Camerupt, so we can just heal this damage off and just put pressure. Okay. Okay. Again, we missed. We missed some pieces. But I think what's best here is to just do that. Because we can't do damage. So let's end turn. And then next turn we can research. And try to get 7 fresh cards. So another one. So he's just going to try to set up a bigger hand and different things like that. We see a whole bunch of different draw engines, really. That's what this deck's really doing, is trying to draw. So if we could just get our bench set up, this would be a very different match. Very much, we'd be able to be a little more aggressive, right? Be able to set up the burn condition, bypass maybe Serendipity, put pressure on this Mega Latias for that 300, be able to set up multiple free prizers our own. So we have a couple routes here. Without the boss, we're just gonna have to eat whatever he gives us, but we're able to pretty much knock out anything he gives us with burn attack combination when we get the combination in play. So let's see what our opponent does. I don't know if they want to Iono us to give us 2 more cards. I'm okay with researching away this hand for sure. Lillie this game hasn't really been the best to us. We already got one of our 2 Night Stretchers gone. So some of the recovery for the energies and maybe an evolution line's not going to be there. So we really do have to kind of play it slow. Or maybe not play it slow, but we'll try not to be as aggressive as we would like. But what we can do, not the biggest fan of losing another energy. But we're gonna go for it. Let's try to get our pieces together here. So we have one part of the burn. And we have the cards. They're in the deck. We see them. Okay. Yeah, if we had both Magmortars, that would have been perfect. But we're just going to end turn here. So, still burn, but I don't see that Mimikyu staying in the active this turn. Or, not burn, sorry. But I still don't see the Mimikyu being in the active this turn. We have Counter Catcher, so if this Camerupt gets knocked out, and the active just isn't us in a position where we feel comfortable, we can just Counter Catcher something else. Really what it is, we could, however we want to go about it, we can really put pressure on getting this Latias into play, taking 3 prizes, going down the 2, and then just feeding through everything else. Yeah, there's a retreat, which is what we thought. Now the question is, what are they going to give us? They are going after the Latias now. So we have a Numel already ready to go. We have a very good likelihood we're going to hit what we want to hit now. Because 280 is not hard with the fact that we're already doing 240 before burn manipulation. So they're going to take 3 prizes. They're going to go down to 3, but we're going to be able to return KO very easily. So let's promote, and we're gonna lose the Counter Catcher, but we're just gonna go for it. Let's put that Rigid Band on. We don't really need anything else, so we're just going to do the 240. The burn's going to knock out the Latias and not proc the Serendipity, which is the amazing piece. So they're not going to be able to Serendipity for 3. We have an opportunity where we can get and I don't see a way where they can do the knockout right now. The Mimikyu is kind of like the big fork in the road for us, but if we just do one turn of burn, we can do that, and we're going to have to try to just manage our resources for the rest of the match. Rare Candy into another Alakazam, Psychic Draw for 3 more cards. He's going to try, probably if he brings that up, try to put damage counters onto our board. Or onto our active, which bypasses some stuff. So he's just trying to fill up and put, what, 26 damage counters on us? $30 damage counters, so he's getting close, but not quite there. So I'm interested to see there. He's really trying to get Mega Camerupt knocked out with the Alakazam. And this is where our slow start starting to burn us right now, with the Mimikyu just kind of stalling for a turn, and us having used a resource to inflict burn on Mimikyu when we normally wouldn't have to. I'm just curious on what he's going to do. Alright, he's just going to attack us. Okay, so he's softening up the Mega Camerupt. There's our play here, like what we normally would like to do. So, let's just, again, put some evolution pieces into play. Let's use one of these mini Nest Balls we have in hand to see what's left in the deck here. A singular grass or fire energy. I'm gonna keep that into the deck. I don't want any more shenanigans. My concern is right now, I think we might lose because of Alakazam just putting damage counters, because we have no way to disrupt this hand size. So I believe that we just kind of lose just from pure math. And we're going to end turn. But that is the Alakazam deck. Alakazam's one of the stronger rogue decks in the format. And we're going to see the more than likely see, yep. And then he's going to put damage counters all on the Camerupt and take the 3 prizes. But we were able to show off the Camerupt a little bit for us. They were able to show off their deck, which is always great to see. It's when 2 decks show off their strengths. We were just a little too slow. I think it was just bad luck. We Lillie Determinations twice and got 0 evolutions. Or 0 like Ultra Ball or draw support, really. So there was just some unluckiness to the turn. Yeah, see, powerful hand, 320. Did the soft up, and then he's going to take 3 prizes to KO. That's just the unfortunate downside to these megas, is the 3 prizes. So, but let's jump into another match to see how else we can do and see if we can just get a little more lucky on those draws. Alrighty, let's jump into another match here. We are leading with Numel, and we're going second, which is actually not bad. Again, the Call of the Family is a really good setup for us. And we're going to be running into a Mega Lucario deck. So, Mega Lucario is a deck that we've got pretty much for free. Minus, like, if you want to take that free deck and upgrade it, you absolutely can. But everyone got it, so we got the cards for probably arguably one of the strongest linear attacking decks in the entire format. So, Yep, got the Solrock, got the Aquavita, got the Riolu. So for us, setting up multiple pieces is going to be very important for our turn here. We have to make sure that we do that. So no attachment, no anything else. So we are going to call the family. I really wish because we have the 2 evolutions here, called it family, but without a second Numel, I wouldn't feel the greatest. So we're gonna Lillie. And we're gonna Trolley. I feel better doing the Trolley. And a Magmar is prized, which kind of sucks. So we're just gonna fill that up there. We have a Magmortar. We have pieces. We're just gonna call the family to pass our turn effectively. I don't want to put that there. So we have a Camerupt, we have an Energy, we have a Magmortar in hand. We can Lillie again. So we can put pressure on the Mega Lucario next turn. We very well can. I think for us in this matchup, the way I'm kind of looking at how everything's kind of being seen is whoever can take the first multi-prize KO is going to win, because it's just not going to do anything. And they're whiffing on the Mega Lucario. Okay. So I'm just going to force our opponent to try to hit 340. I think it's definitely the play here. And before we get a KO, I'm going to maximize the Lillie one more time. Or we're going to get 8. Because the next time we see Lillie, it's only going to be for 6. Which, we have pieces here now. And we got the Rigid Band, so now we're really forcing our opponent to do something here. So, let's Burning Heat. Let's take an early prize. His stadium does not hurt us. We're stage 1, so Gravity Mountain does not do anything for us. Air Balloon, perfect, so that protects a Magmortar if he gets the Magmortar out. We could Earthen Vessel for more energy if we need to do that. With the Roasting Heat, we really didn't have to discard the energy, but I like having an energy or 2 with a Night Stretcher just to kind of protect that piece just a little bit. So we're seeing the Riolu, we're seeing Premium Power Pro, so is there energy evolution in that hand? There's a switch. And a research. Okay, smart combination, smart sequencing. Really, really smart sequencing. There's Lucario onto the bench. Okay, so they're protecting that Lucario. We have Boss, so we can definitely go after that. We can definitely chase if we have to. I think we're in a position from our board state that chasing is not a bad thing. Fighting Gong again. Unless they're trying to set up multiple Lucarios. I'm not against that either. I'm curious on what our opponent's going to do here. Very curious. Because I'm okay of going through 2 more Lucarios. I think we very well can do 340 fairly easily. or maybe not easily, but it's not going to be as hard as him having to do 370 effectively. And he's already used a Premium Power Pro. So who is he going to bring up on us? The Magmortar, okay. So he's going to try to strand us, but unfortunately for him, we have everything we need to really set up. So let's get our stuff kind of ready to go here. So let's we're slowly kind of building our turn up. I'll take all the energy into the hand. We're not going to do much with one of them at least. Okay, so let's do the math here. We are 80 plus 160, which is 240, plus 5 is 290. The 10 here will make it 300, which does not help us, and it will hurt us because we're giving him 10 more with the Rigid Band. So here, I think what's best is just, we're going to poke. We're going to put that 290 on there. And the burn is healed, unfortunately, but this Lucario now can just die to a regular roasting heat without a burn trigger. There's another one there, yep. Lillie, he's going to Lillie full. He's already used one of the Premium Power Pros, which was amazing. So he's one less in the deck. He's going to retreat. So is he going to force us to kind of chase? And kind of chase things around, which I'm okay with if we have to a little bit. Okay, so he's putting up a fresh Lucario. I think what he wants to do is basically just power up his bench with this attack here. He's going to poke us as we poke him back. He's having a lot of pieces. He's probably going to put a third Lucario into play up. So he's going to put 1, 2, using that acceleration. Where now, I don't even think we should chase. To be 100% honest, I don't think this turn we should chase with damage and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have to use it at least on one. Maybe we do. Maybe we do put damage onto this one. So let's grab a Hilda. Let's grab another one of our Megas. And force him to go through 2 Megas. That's going to be our strategy, right? Let's burn this one. Let's have 2 that are very, very heavily burned. I think that is not a bad idea. Because our Magmar's prize. We're going to have to try to find prizes here. We have Boss, we have Counter Catcher. So now, cures the burn, that's fine. Now, if he takes the prize lead, we can just Counter Catcher something. And then Boss. And then that's our back and forth, right? Assuming our hand doesn't get stuck to different things like that, but I think just holding on to some of these pieces will do us more benefit than trying to just go all out. Like, there was no need to boss this damaged Lucario. Setting up multiple damaged Lucarios is not a bad thing. We know the deck isn't running Pheasantipity. We don't have to overstretch by having to do this combination. Now we can just attach and hit. Okay, so there's the second Premium Power Pro gone. We do have Wally in the deck still too, so we can always Wally's Compassion and damage away. So him having to do all that barely got him over the threshold, which makes me feel very confident that we can play around and kind of chase things here. So there's a Night Stretcher as well, just in case we have to do anything. But I don't think we need to. So I want to counter catcher this damaged one. I just want to get that out of the hand while it's still active. And then we'll get 3 prizes of our own. I really wish we were able to do away. We could have Lillie to see if we would have gotten a Rigid Band, but I don't think that was going to be worth losing the boss in hand. There's the Magmar, which I think might be a turn too late, but we'll still put it down and still kind of play around with some pieces here. So there's the undamaged Lucario. There's the difference right there. Is that 50 damage right there. I think he got us. I think he got us by a turn. That shows how strong this Lucario deck is. Yep, by 1. Just a singular turn. If we would have got that Rigid Belt, math would have been different. So, but we're able to hang around with arguably one of the better decks in the format, more aggressive deck in Lucario. We were just off by a little bit here and there. So, but that's Camerupt. It's showing off what the deck can do in the right matchups. If you're running into the Golden Goats, you're running into a little bit slower. I think the Mega Evolution, we're definitely getting more aggressive, but with free prizes, there's a trade-off. But still a good match for Camerupt, and Mega Lucario showcasing Wally. So there's Mega Camerupt EX. It's a very straightforward deck. I think the biggest weakness to this deck right now is that I have not been able to figure out the best partner in the Mega Evolution set format for it, which means that if they knock out 2 Camerupts, they win the game. They're not doing any real prize manipulation, which is a big point of having a 3-prizer in the format now. Now, it does have a lot of those games, as we saw. We saw a lot of really fun deck diversity on the ladder this week, and I hope that continues on in the extended future for this format. So, this deck, like I said, can be fun. It's low to the ground. It can be very aggressive turn 1 if all the pieces kind of line up. And honestly, that's what we should be expecting from all the Megas. They all have potential. They give up 3 prizes, so they all should be good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this deck can get optimized for the future. Like we said, the 3 prize is very, very big now, so it's going to be one of those situations where if you can help offset that with a good partner, definitely go for it. Like we said in the beginning of the video, this list will be in the description of the video, but please go and add it and adjust it. Figure out how you can make it just a little bit better for you and your playstyle. That's what we want to see. And if you made it this far to the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do weekly rogue videos and weekly videos that we think will be fun decks to play on the ladder for you to bring to your local league. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the matches. Hope you enjoy the deck. And as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks. Bye, guys.